Hey guys, Jeff here. Been a little busy lately. First off, good news. I am now an assistant manager, full time, benefits, the whole deal. So, congrats to me. I know you don't give a shit, but anyways. Also, at the beginning of this, I'm just gonna say, go Hawks, Game 6. That's it. And but what I'm really here to talk about today is Daybreakers, starring Ethan Hawke, Willem Dafoe, and some other mofo's. Um, It was actually I put it in my Netflix queue based on a recommendation from Rambo Raff. He liked it, and I see why he did. It's a cool little. It's basically a vampire movie, but it's also it's horror slash sci-fi. They take the. I think they really kind of. I'm so kind of sick of the whole vampire genre in general, especially like the emo direction it's taken lately. But this kind of breathes new life into the vampire genre by making it a sci-fi story where the premise is the vampires have taken over the world. It's not like they've run amok and everyone's dying and shit. Well, sort of. They've taken over the world, but they run the media, the government, business. So you'll have vampires on the news with their glowing eyes talking about how they're and the main conflict is that they're running out of humans. Humans are endangered, so they're running out of their food, their blood, and that serves as the premise for the story. It's just a story in motion. That's the main conflict. Ethan Hawke plays a hematologist, like a blood scientist that works for a pharmaceutical company, and they want him to find a blood substitute, like a synthetic substitute that'll work for them. uh, he would like to find a cure for vampirism, and that creates a bit of a conflict. And there's a little bit of commentary in there because the pharmaceutical company isn't interested in curing the disease; they're interested in treating the symptoms. Tell me if that sounds familiar. And that's why I liked the movie. I just liked the idea of it, and it was cool. It was a pretty nicely realized world that they're living in, where you have vampires on the news and a vampire government, and coffee shops. Instead of putting cream in your coffee, they put blood in it, and cars have daytime shields, where like a shield comes over your car, and you drive by use of video camera. I don't want to give too much away, and I don't want to ramble on forever. You get the idea. It's like a action sci-fi horror flick. I enjoyed it. It's pretty good. It's not too exciting. It's not too great. It's nothing great, but it's really not that bad. I mean, it's a cool. It survives by the strength of its premise. Some good actors, even though I think Willem Dafoe kind of hams it up, and the strength of its cinematography. It looks really good. And like I said, the world is nicely realized, so that's what made it fun for me. The story could have been stronger, and it definitely gets kind of stupid near the end when they're coming up with their scientific solutions. Uh, Kind of didn't buy it. Kind of doesn't make sense, really. I don't want to go into the details of it, but you'll know what I mean when you see it. So, like I said, it's a great premise, and that's what makes the movie pretty good. The story itself could have been stronger, and they could have done something cooler with that premise than what they did. It kind of turns into a standard fare by the halfway point. But overall, not a bad movie at all. Not a bad waste of an hour and a half. I'm happy I checked it out, and I would agree with Rambo Raff. It's a good decent flick. I'm not sure why people seem to hate it. It is better than a lot of vampire shit I've seen lately. Even though I haven't seen much vampire shit lately because I really just refuse. It's just nicely. Another cool, nice touch about the world and the premise is like if you start to starve and you're running out of blood, the vampires, instead of being like a good-looking pale person with glowy eyes, they turn more rat-like and bat-like, more like frail creatures, like, which is cool. I mean, I think if you want to make Vampire's scary again. That's the direction you got to go. But just that's a cool plot idea there. It plays with the rules of vampirism in a fun way. Like that is a perfect example. If you starving on blood, you turn more creature-like. Or God, they do a whole bunch of just their standard vampire rules. Like do it in fun ways. Or like the daytime shield on the car. The windows are getting shot out. There's shafts of light coming through. And the vampires have to try to avoid it. Uh, so that's what I liked about it. It plays with the rules of vampires, and it puts it in a sci-fi setting, and the world is kind of nicely realized. It could have the same premise could have made a better movie, but it looks good. That's at the very least the cinematography looks good, and you're not going to be bored by it. It's not a bad hour and a half. So check it out. I give it 3 stars out of 5. The next movie I'll be talking about is The Collector. I'm not too excited to see that, but we'll see. I've been pretty easy going on movies lately, pretty easy to please. I think the lowest one I've rated since I started doing these videos is Avatar, because Avatar sucks. But yeah, so keep watching. Thanks for watching. Check this movie out. Like I said, 3 stars out of 5 for it. Nothing too special, but definitely worth a look if you're a horror fan. Um, yeah, see you next time, guys.